Listen closely, kid. I was not born angry. I was not born broken. I did not wake up one day and choose this face. I was normal. I trusted people. I believed effort mattered. Then reality sat me down. It did not speak softly. It laughed. And when it was done teaching me, I was no longer harmless. If you are still innocent, leave now. If you are still pretending, this will hurt. If you are tired of being lied to, stay. Because this is what happens when the world educates you. They call it madness when you stop playing along. I call it graduation. I remember who I used to be. That version of me disgusts people like me now. He believed in fairness. He believed in loyalty. He believed pain had limits. He smiled without calculating the cost. He spoke without armor. He trusted words. Reality watched all of that, and it waited. Reality is patient. It lets you build hope first. That makes the lesson stick. The first lesson was simple. People love what you provide, not who you are. You show up. You give. You stay loyal. They clap while it benefits them. They vanish when it costs them. That is not betrayal. That is education. The second lesson came faster. Pain does not arrive with warning. One phone call, one silence, one door that never opens again. Everything you thought was stable collapses quietly. No music, no drama, just absence. And you stand there wondering what rule you broke. You did not break one. You were just naive enough to think rules protected you. This is where most people lie to themselves. They say it was bad luck. They say next time will be different. That lie keeps them normal, and normal people get hurt the most. Reality does not attack strength. It hunts softness. I learned that kindness without boundaries is self-harm. I learned that loyalty without reciprocity is stupidity. I learned that silence often speaks clearer than promises. No one warned me. They benefited too much from my ignorance. Do you know what hurts more than betrayal? Realizing it was predictable. The signs were always there. The excuses were mine. That is when the smile changed. Not because I was happy, because I stopped expecting honesty. This smile is not joy. It is control. When you stop needing approval, people panic. They cannot read you. They cannot use you. So they call you cold. They call you unstable. They call you dark. Those are compliments from people who need you weak. Reality teaches through repetition. Same lesson, different faces. You give someone access. They test how much they can take. They take more. When you finally say no, they act offended, as if restraint is betrayal. That is lesson 3. People resent the boundaries they benefited from violating. I stopped explaining myself after that. Explanation invites negotiation, and my life is not up for debate. The world teaches you this the hard way. Speak less, observe more, listen to actions, ignore declarations. Reality does not care what people say. It watches what they do when it costs them something. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. The world does not reward good people. It exploits them. It rewards useful people. It tolerates obedient ones. It fears unpredictable ones. Once you see that, you cannot unsee it. That is when they noticed I changed. They said I was different. They were right. Different means educated. I no longer rush to help. I assess first. I no longer trust tears. I watch patterns. I no longer chase connection. I let it prove itself. That is not cruelty. That is survival. Reality does not turn you into a monster. It removes the fantasy that you were safe. The monster was always possible. Reality just unlocked it. People love the old you. Because the old you was convenient. He absorbed damage quietly. Some only behave when they sense consequences. Reality taught me that. I used to fear being alone. Now I fear being surrounded by liars. Loneliness hurts once. Betrayal hurts every time you remember. Normal people crave belonging. Educated people choose alignment. That costs more, but it costs less than regret. Let me break another illusion. Closure is a myth. People do not give it. You take it by leaving. Reality does not tie loose ends. It cuts ropes. When you stop chasing understanding from people committed to misunderstanding you, your mind gets quiet. That silence is dangerous, because clarity follows. They will say you changed because of pain. They are wrong. You changed because you learned. Triggering line. Pain without learning is tragedy. Pain with learning is power. I did not lose my humanity. I refined it. I give less, but I give honestly. I trust slower, but I trust deeply. I love selectively, but I love fiercely. That is not broken. That is disciplined. Reality educated me by removing illusions about fairness, about loyalty, about effort. It showed me the world as it is, not as it pretends to be. And once you see it, you cannot go back. Here is the final lesson. You do not need to be liked. You need to be respected by yourself. Approval is rented. Self-respect is owned. Reality charges rent. Every day you ignore that. So if they say you are no longer normal, agree. Normal stays blind. Normal stays hopeful, without evidence. Normal stays soft in a hard world. You graduated from that. I was normal until reality educated me. Now I smile differently, and I sleep better, because I finally understand the rules. And here is what comes after understanding the rules. You stop trying to win arguments. You start choosing exits. You stop correcting people. You let them reveal themselves. You stop chasing fairness. You build leverage. This is where weak minds misunderstand you. They think you became heartless. You did not. You became precise. You no longer bleed for free. You no longer invest blindly. You no longer confuse hope with strategy. Reality taught me something else. Most people are not evil. They are predictable. Give them power with no cost, and they abuse it. Give them kindness with no boundary, and they drain it. Give them truth with no consequence, and they mock it. That pattern never changes. Only the faces do. Once you accept that, anger fades, disappointment fades, confusion fades. What remains is calm, and calm scares people more than rage. Rage is loud, calm is controlled. Rage can be provoked, calm cannot. That is why they poke you. That is why they test you. They want the old reactions back. Do not give it to them. Reality also taught me this. You do not owe access to anyone who knew you before you grew. History does not equal entitlement. Some people were chapters, not companions. Close the book. When you stop explaining your pain, people lose their power over it. They cannot weaponize what they cannot reach. Silence is not weakness. It is locked doors. There will be moments you miss the old you, the simpler version, the trusting version. That nostalgia is a trap. That version paid the price so this one could exist. Respect the sacrifice. You will walk alone more often now, not because you failed, because you see clearly. Clarity isolates. Illusion gathers crowds. Do not envy those who sleep inside lies. They will wake up later, and the lesson will hurt more. You already paid the tuition. This is not the end of softness. It is the end of stupidity. You can still care, just never blindly. You can still love, just never without limits. You can still help, just never at your own expense. That balance is education. If reality has not educated you yet, it will. It always does. And when it does, remember this: you are not becoming worse. You are becoming aware. Awareness changes posture. It changes tone. It changes who stays. Let them leave. The world does not need you normal. It needs you awake. And once you are awake, you never unlearn the lesson. I was normal until reality educated me. Now I move differently. I choose carefully. I smile on purpose, because now I know exactly what I am dealing with.